Welcome to the Author to Authority podcast. And today I get to spend some time with my wonderful co-host, best friends of more years than we can count. But if you want the real number, go back to one of the first episodes in September where we talk about our friendship. And the book project manager and content facilitator of RTI Publishing, Juanita Wootton-Radko. Welcome, my friend.
Hi, Kim. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Well, a little cloudy today, kind of reminiscent of what's to come, but I choose not to look at those things.
Good.
We are almost in October.
We're as close as you can get without being in it, yes.
So true, my friend, so true.
I appreciate reminiscent as a delicious word.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sunday was such a beautiful, glorious day. After church, a whole group of us, socially distanced, of course, went down to one of our local parks, Little Lake, and we just sat there and enjoyed the brilliant warmth and the golden rays touching our face, and I'm trying to be delicious. And it was just such a beautiful warm day, and we're all like, ah. But we know not too many more of these are going to be. So, but we did enjoy it. It was glorious.
It's like lemon meringue pie, right? The delicious sweetness of the meringue balances out the tartness of the lemon curd underneath. So it's kind of like the warmth of the day is the sweetness against the colder months.
Yes. It's a fond memory that I will carry with me when it's 30 below.
And now I want pie. I do this to myself more often than I care to admit.
So we should actually get to today's topic, which is free ways to promote your book. And one of the first things that I want to talk about in terms of that, and this is something I share with all of my clients, is, you know, becoming a published author is not that field of dreams. And if you're not sure what I mean by field of dreams, it was a movie in the 90s, I believe. And with Kevin Costner, you should really check it out.
Or you can read W.P. Kinsella's Field of Dreams. Either way.
Either way. But here's the thing. You know, you're not going to get rich just by publishing a book. You're not going to become successful in your business just because you've got that print copy with your name on it. You know, your book is a tool that you use. It's not a magic get rich quick scheme. And so I want people to know that, because sometimes they think, oh, I'm going to publish a book and all these sales are going to come in and all these clients are going to come in. Yes, that is possible, but you have to use the book to get there.
You raise a good point in calling a book a tool, especially in nonfiction. When we think of books, we tend to think of fiction because it's such a large category, such a broad category, and fiction is a form of entertainment. Nonfiction is a tool for compiling, showcasing, and sharing knowledge.
Very true.
And sometimes you have to go out into the world and let the people who are hunting and gathering and searching for that knowledge, you have to go, here I am, the dream that you've been looking for, it's me.
I like that. So, you know, when we're thinking about this, you know, about your book being a tool, obviously the more consistently you use that tool, the better your results are going to be. Mm-hmm. You know, think of your book like a little seed. You know, if you just put out one little seed, how much results are you going to get? Over time, maybe a whole lot, because that one seed can produce, several fruit that produces several seeds. But is that going to happen quickly?
No. You gotta do a lot of watering and weeding and raking.
But even if you think about that one seed, so let's say you planted one seed and it took a full season to grow, right? You don't even have any more seeds until that harvest time. So you can't even see exponential growth because, you've waited 6 months just to get to harvest to get enough seeds. So, when you think of your book as a tool, you've got to get it out there and get it out there in lots of different ways. And you got to plant lots of different seeds because you don't always know where those seeds are going to fall, right? Some, the Bible talks about seeds falling on the good soil and seeds falling on the rocky soil and, seeds falling by the wayside, right? And then, sometimes the seed gets sun scorched or sometimes there's not enough water, but then there's that good fertile ground where you yield this big harvest. So you don't always know where your book's going to go, but the point is you got to get the seeds out there and you've got to get them out there consistently so that you'll see a harvest.
Right. Because you don't know the timing, that your timing, it's important for your audience to be receptive and ready to hear it. Mm-hmm. And sometimes your audience would be receptive to your message, but the timing is off for them because life happens when we're making other plans. And I know what your plan is to say, Kim, is that creating a marketing plan is a big part of being consistent. And a marketing plan needs a calendar. I was really excited when you put that on because I was like, I can talk about calendars. Well, you know what? I use a marketing plan in the kitchen with my family. Only there, I call it meal planning. Mondays and Wednesdays, we have chicken. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we usually have meat. And Friday, we have fish. Saturday can be a treat. We can have pizza or takeout or something. We have a regular cycle that allows me to create content without having to think out my entire plan from scratch.
Yeah.
The marketing plan is the strategy, the overarching plan of how you're going to attain your goals. The tactics are the specific actions or steps you undertake to accomplish your strategy. A marketing calendar is a schedule that's going to make content planning automatic.
And this is why I was thinking as I was preparing for this thing that I think your new name's going to be the Queen of Planners.
The calendar queen. I'm your calendar girl, Kim.
There you go. I was also thinking the proficient planner. So I don't know. We got to come up with a name for you there, my friend.
I like proficient.
But when you look at that and when you do that, it creates this incredible amount of momentum. So not too long now, Larry Levine, the book's back there, Selling from Heart's going to be celebrating 2 years since we.
Oh my goodness!
And
congratulations, Larry.
We were talking not too long ago, and even though he had a really good big book launch, where he's seen the massive amount of growth was about a year to 18 months into the book being published and him just getting it out there consistently all the time. And then all of a sudden it was like momentum point hit and everything exploded. Mm-hmm. So, you've got your book launch, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But if you want to see the explosion in your book, I mean, you took all this time to write it. You may have taken 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 18 months, years maybe to write this book. Who knows? So, why not make the investment to make that book count? And not just have it sit in boxes in your garage.
Oh my goodness. Yep. I think that's the gap that gave self-publishing a bad name. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, was that, well, in olden days when people decided to write their own book and publish it themselves, most people don't have a set plan, don't have an idea of how they're going to actually distribute or get other people excited and get the numbers to that tipping point where you suddenly have a fan base and people want to hear every golden nugget that drops from your lips, kind of thing.
Exactly. And that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes consistent effort. But it's not like it takes long to do. So, we're not talking about you have to spend hours a day doing this. But if you spent maybe 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and do 1 or 2 actions consistently, you'd be amazed at how they pile up over time. So I want to get into some of the different ways that you can promote your book, because that is the topic for today's episode. And I've got lots of different ideas. So we'll see how this goes and whether we divide it into 1 episode or 2 episodes. But just before I do that, do you have any other thoughts that you want to share there, my friend?
I think that I just can't wait to hear more promo ideas. I've got a couple to add to the list. Ooh. So we are probably well on the way to that 2 pointers. If we'll see about talking maybe more about a marketing calendar idea a little bit. Or is this a good time?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. One of the things that I found really helpful in my business previously was Whiz Bang Training was the name of the company, and they do a fantastic job of retail training. And in the marketing component, they talked about every marketing tactic, every action, rather than being so invested in, okay, I'm going to do this big newspaper ad, I'm going to do a radio ad or whatever. Instead, think of it not as a one-time big splash. Think of it as a necklace, and you are putting beads on the string. And some beads are big and some beads are small. You might have a big event one time, and then you have 6 posts on social media. You go through and do these actions, and you're always do it consistently, putting a bead on the string. I love that image of like a constant drop that's filling the bucket and raising the water level until you hit that point where your cup is full.
And
or overflowing, even better.
And I think too, like it's also like, you talk about that necklace is having a variety of beads.
Yes.
So yes, you need to be doing the same things over and over, but I think it's really important to figure out, not just one thing. So not just social media, right? Or if you're going to do social media, do it in different ways. But, to think of different things that you can do and then just do those consistently. The other thing too is not everything is going to produce results, and you won't know what produces results until you test and try it, which is one of the main points of marketing. People, when they hire a marketing company, sometimes they get frustrated because not a lot happens in the first few months. But that marketing team has got to test everything to see what's going to be effective. It's that 80-20 rule, right? Mm-hmm. So, 80% of your results is going to come from 20% of your advertising. So you have to try out different things and then check the results to see which are your most effective ones. So, if let's say you took 90 days and you created yourself that marketing calendar and you put, 6 activities in. So, you take a day off. You don't have to, do every single day. So say 6 or 5 or 6 days a week. And you picked categories. So, once a week you were doing these things and you did them over 90 days. Well, then you're going to be able to gauge where your results are coming from. And then you can scale down to the 2 or 3 that are most effective and really push into them.
Yeah. It's so just like I was having chicken on Monday and Wednesday, my Monday and Wednesday strategies, tactics could be case studies. I'm having client testimonials. I'm telling a story on Monday and I'm having a client testimonial on Wednesday. On Tuesday and Thursday can be tips and techniques, depending on your industry, but a tip for your particular area of expertise, a question. You don't even have to know the answer to the question. You can open it up. If you're a way to get engagement is to open it up to your audience and ask them, what do you want to know? I've been telling you what I've been thinking. Let's hear from you. And you can also do just like a bonus treat. I found that my audience enjoyed getting a laugh once in a while. Pick 2 or 3. You've got 4 weeks of the month. I picked Friday as the day to put a joke on the
Fun Friday
Facebook feed.
Yep. Like our Author to Authority group, our fun thing are the puns.
Mm-hmm.
Wordplay.
My daughter told me a joke this morning, Kim.
Okay.
Why do cows have hooves?
I have no idea.
Because they lactose.
Oh, your daughter, man, she cracks me up.
She really knows how to milk a joke.
Yeah, and I know where she gets it from too.
I am just reining myself in because this whole episode could maybe just be punning off of that. So I will. It really could. It would take bovine intervention for me to stop.
Oh, okay.
There's a portion, 80% of our audience is going, oh, please shut up. And the 20% is like, I can't believe she's doing this.
And now we've had our laugh for today. We got to get back to our more serious topic of free book advertising. So I think we've laid a great foundation. And so let's actually talk about some of the ideas. I'll share a couple of mine and then you can share a couple of yours. So most people don't realize that, and I didn't put this on the list I sent you to, Juanita, it just came to me. An effective way to advertise your book is to create an email list. And you can do that by giving away a free sample of your book. And nowadays with the technology, you don't even have to have a website to do it. And you can do it for free, though, I would suggest maybe paying a little bit. But there are what are called autorespondos out there. Now, one of the free ones is MailChimp. It's limited in what you can do, but you can create an email list where people can register to get updates and tips and training. And they do have a free version. Like I said, you can't do a lot with it, but up to about, I think it's about 2,000 people you can have on your list. If you get 2,000 people on your list, you can afford to start paying for the services. So, think about that and think about ways that you can put out, one piece of content a week that's around your book, around what you teach and you train on, something that's going to be helpful to your audience. So that was one thing that came to mind while we were talking, and I wanted to say it before I forgot it. Because you and I get talking, I'm like, oh man, what was I thinking about? Man, this conversation is so good.
It's the jokes. It's the jokes.
But one other really quick way, because some of the other ones need some more explanation, is to put your book in your email signature.
I thought that was such a great idea. When I saw that on your list, I was like, oh, that seems obvious now that I see it.
But I don't I'm not sure about all programs, but I use Outlook for my email. And in Outlook, you can create a signature that's actually an image. So you can get you can either design it yourself on something like Canva, or, you can pay a few bucks on Fiverr, whatever, but create a nice signature graphic for yourself, that has your name, your pertinent information, but then advertise your book, put a picture of the book cover and a, short 1-sentence blurb, and then the link to where they can either get the book or get the free excerpt to your book, get them on your email list, right? So, it's so simple and most people don't do it, and yet it's powerful. And I mean, think of, in your business and what you do, how many emails are you sending out in a day? Let's play around with it.
A bajillion and one.
well, let's even
conservatively speaking.
If you're sending out 10 emails a day, right, times 5 days a week, that's 50 emails a week times 52. So let's say 50 times 50.
2,500.
Yeah. So, in a month or in a year, you're sending out at least 2,500 emails. Let's say 10%. That's 250 people on your email list. Let's say even 5%. That's 125 people that you've added onto your email list a year, and all you did was add his email signature on.
It's sort of passive advertising that's happening every time, because the other thought is with that is that it takes, in some sources I've seen 7, other sources I've seen say 9, but it takes at least 7 advertising contacts, touches, for someone to register, oh, hey, there's a business that I might need sometime. So that first email might be like, oh, Kim has a book, Author to Authority. And then 2 months down the road, someone's talking about writing a book in a social situation. And you're like, oh, I think I know someone who can help you write a book. I have to check. Oh yeah, Kim Thompson-Pinder is the amazing word ninja, and she's been writing a book called Author to Authority. I saw that she had some free information. Maybe you want to check her out.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. You never know where these things go. Right? So, and it's the compound over time. It's not the first time you add it to your email signature you get results. And sometimes you won't even know, right? Like, not everything is trackable, but the consistency factor is you will see results if you do it, right? But I mean, how much does it take? It takes you 1 second to click add signature.
And the payoff is so much greater. And it's not that you have to keep doing anything else too. That was the passive part, is that it's doing the work for you thousands of times as you send out your email, rather than you consciously having to do the work and adding it to each and every email.
And because it's passive too, it's there and it's kind of in your face, but the person reading it doesn't feel like they're being pressured to do anything.
Yeah.
right? So it's not like I'm there going, buy my book, right? Like I'm in their face to face, like saying, okay, you need to buy my book, right? It makes you uncomfortable. But if you just keep seeing it in the signature, you keep thinking, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to buy the book today. Right? So it is a really great way. And I think if all of our points like go like this, we might be doing part 2 and part 3. Because we're having good conversation here, my friend. All right. So what was one of your ideas you wanted to share?
Well, I was thinking about how you can draw in some of your real world contacts, like the people you work with, your boss, your work colleagues, and other associates, maybe people that you know from social groups that you're in, whether that's a local sports team or your book club, or maybe you're part of a community group like Lions Club or Rotary or guiding, something like that.
Or our personal favorite, Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, yes, indeed. I can't believe I was saving the best to last. Toastmasters. These are places where you can connect with people and share your book. Toastmasters especially is a place to practice talking about your book and getting comfortable with the ideas, because I find that sometimes it's one thing to be clever and articulate when I'm writing. It's another thing to be clever and articulate when I'm speaking.
Well, that's because most of us are stronger in one area than the other.
And getting practice in both in Toastmasters has been just phenomenally helpful for me. So that's another way you can talk about it. Again, it's not necessarily heavy promotional, doing a sales talk, although Toastmasters is actually a place where you can practice and learn how to get comfortable and improve your sales talk. It's a case of, I would say you can give, that's all of those places are ways you could find people who might be interested in getting your sample chapter to, you might ask someone to help you with a little review, have them read it and ask their opinion on it. If you have a professional association, like, I don't know, let's say you're a dentist and you have a book, the tooth and the whole tooth and nothing but the tooth. And oh, I mean, in a professional association, like if you're a dentist, you know the drill, and you're gonna be ready.
I gotta write that down, because if we ever get a dentist as a client. Oh. Okay.
So if you're a professional, like a dentist, a real estate agent, a lawyer, someone like that, there is a larger professional organization that you are connected with. And that is definitely an audience that will be interested in your opinions on your topic as it relates to the professional association.
I definitely think we're going to divide this into two. So there's a couple of more smaller ones I want to cover, and let's cover the two big ones, social media and understanding the Amazon algorithm. Let's do that in part 2, because those are bigger topics and we're going to need more time to talk. So let's go through a few more other small ones. So there are a lot of free book promotion sites where you can go and you can list your book. Now, sometimes they will require the book is 99 cents, or it might be you do it on your free days when the book is free. But there's lots and lots and lots of different sites out there, and you'd have to do some research to find them. And eventually I am going to compile a list, though I don't have a full one right now. But, you know, if you can go to these, pardon me?
Maybe just name two.
Name two. Okay, I gotta just pull up my document here for you. I have a document with some on them, so.
Because it's such a tease to say. There's like one that Kim likes is.
Okay, just scanning through. Actually, you know what? I think it's on the different document. So, Juanita, why don't you share one more idea while I look it up?
Okay. This is something that I would suggest I think it's SurveyMonkey is the group, but I don't know that SurveyMonkey is related to MailChimp. It has that simian theme, but anyway, you can create polls. And do you know what? People like, if you call them polls, that's okay. But if you make it a personality quiz, like there is a whole section of BuzzFeed, like pick these 9 desserts and we'll tell you what kind of book to read.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pick these 6 houses and we'll tell you what your baby's name is going to be. They're all kind of crazy like that. But you could have something similar, that if you have a poll, a quiz to help find out, maybe you'll partner with another. Here's another thing, a little cross-pollination just came to me. For example, we have Larry Levine's Selling from the Heart, and Daryl Aney is his podcast co-host. And what's Daryl's book called, Kim?
Revenue Growth Engine.
There is definitely possibilities for some cross-pollination in the audience between these two speakers. They have got so much knowledge, and the reason they work together is because they have lots of overlapping interests and can talk to each other. The people who are listening to these gentlemen speak will have lots of overlapping interest as well. So I think that reaching out to your colleagues in that regard and similar, it doesn't have to competition.
Yes.
It can be
collaboration.
Mutual collaboration.
Awesome. So I found two. I haven't used them a lot. I've only just started, getting ready to try these two out. So I can't guarantee results on these, okay? So you got to understand, whenever you're posting on these types of free book promo sites, you can't always guarantee that you're going to get results. But what I suggest is posting on one at a time and see if you get book spikes. And the thing is, check out these different groups too, because these different groups kind of focus on different types of books and different categories of books. But two that you can check out, one is called awesomegang.com /submit your book. And the other one is ebookasaurus.com /free book listing. So awesomegang.com /submit your book, and ebookasaurus.com /free book listing. So there's a couple of for you to check out. But if you Google it, there's tons of them out there, and like I said, maybe do one at a time and see what results you get. Because if you do too many, you can't see which ones are being effective. So the same way that there's free book promo sites, there's also Facebook promo groups. There's lots of Facebook groups out there for people who love to read. And so, check these groups out. I don't have a list of those for you. Okay. This was just an idea that I saw. But, if you go up into your Facebook search bar and you start typing out different, words, you're going to find it and you're going to find them. And, check them out. Join the really good ones that allow you to promote your book. Don't be spammy about it, though. If you're giving an opportunity to promote your book, make it a good quality content when you're doing it. Not just buy my book, but maybe do a whole post, explain,
give value.
Add value. Yes.
Yeah. Don't just hold your hand out.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it's about. It's really important to read the group's rules about that, because
follow them.
and follow them, or you will go to Facebook jail.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta admit something. I have been in Facebook jail, not for groups, but in some of the advertising I did, because I didn't understand Facebook's rules, and so I got my hand slapped a few times. I ended up in jail, and it was kind of like, I don't like being in jail. I'm a good girl. And the thing is, they don't even tell you why you're in jail. They just put you there. And you ask why, and they're like, we don't have to tell you why. You didn't follow our rules. Okay, which rule did I not follow? This one.
Kind of like the bad girlfriend, bad boyfriend fight, where you have the, honey, why are you mad? You know what you did. Oh, man. Why should I tell you? Now I'm mad that you want me to tell you.
Exactly. So I've got 2 more ideas, and then if you've got any other ones, to quickly share them, and we'll wrap it up, because I think we're already well over our 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So the last 2 they're not small ideas, but we don't need long to explain them. Goodreads has groups that you can join. And again, you have to follow the rules of the groups, but there are groups where you can share things. And so check those out. The other one is create an Amazon idea list. So this is sort of like your favorite list, and make sure your book is number 1. And then you can share out that list. So you're not directly sharing your book, you're sharing your favorites. And in a lot of places that would be acceptable, because you're just sharing your favorite books. And you got to make sure it's more than just your book there. Like, make yourself a good list of 10, 20 books that you really like, and then share that out. So do you have any more ideas for our readers before we wrap episode 1 up for today?
Our listeners and readers will benefit if you have a book. Maybe you want to be on the Author to Authority podcast yourself. That's a way to promote your book, is get on a podcast, because listeners are readers and readers are listeners. So, little shameless self-promoting plug, but I think that's one thing that we need to add, is that's a free way, is to get on a few different podcasts. Again, build your network and aim at cross-pollination.
So if you are an entrepreneur, an expert, an authority, and an author, though you don't have to be an author, but we prefer it, and you'd be interested in being on the show, go to www.oncehub.com/Author to Authority podcast, and you can pick out a 15-minute potential guest spot interview. I will interview you to see if you're a good fit for the show, and if you are, well, you'll be listening to yourself on one of the Author to Authority podcasts. Well, thank you so much, my friend. This has been a great episode, and we will continue this and do part 2. So this has been Juanita Wootton-Radko and Kim Thompson-Pinder on the Author to Authority podcast. I really want to encourage you, if you've been listening to this podcast and you're wondering about becoming that authority, I am currently working on the Author to Authority book, but I do have a free excerpt available. So if you go to www.authortoauthority.com/get-the-book, you can get your free excerpt. Anyway, have a great day, everyone, and we will see you on the very next episode. Bye now.
Bye-bye.